George Lee, RTE News at Government Buildings.
More good news this evening with the announcement of almost 500 new jobs in Waterford. Genzyme Corporation, a biotechnology company, is to locate a plant there with the support of IDA Ireland.
When making the announcement today, Moriarty said the Genzyme facility will be a high-quality, high-value operation, and the average salary will be in the region of £26,500. The plant will manufacture Renagel tablets, a product used in patients with kidney disease who are on dialysis. The initial investment by the company will be in the region of $200 million. The Taoiseach said it's no secret that Waterford has not done as well as other major urban centres, but she said people will now look to Waterford once they see a major company like Genzyme locating there, and she said it's not just foreign companies she wants to attract to the city.
We want to encourage indigenous companies as well, many of whom want to expand out of Dublin because of the tightness of the labour market and the congestion in the greater Dublin area. I would like to think that many of them would look at Waterford as a place for making that investment.
Genzyme say the reason they located in Waterford was because of the good skills pool and the availability of a suitable premises.
I think the people are here, the skills are here. We were impressed with the college. We were impressed in talking to local companies about the availability of people. And of course the land was here and the site, the building, which we feel we can utilise. So that meant a lot to really get us thinking seriously about Waterford.
The Waterford Institute of Technology is a key winner in this, and I was delighted to hear the Vice President of the company identify that and the partnership that will obviously be forged between the Waterford Institute of Technology and the company.
My Genzyme has been described as wonderful news, and with reports of 300 more jobs expected for the city, today was described as a turning point for Waterford. Helen McInerney, RTE News, Waterford.
At the Moriarty Tribunal, 4 people who dealt with aspects of Charles Haughey's finances have all disputed the account the former Taoiseach gave to lawyers about how his affairs were run. The tribunal concluded today its reading out of evidence given by Mr Haughey in private session.
On the last day of Charles Haughey's evidence to the tribunal last March, the former Taoiseach had perhaps the final opportunity to tell tribunal lawyers what he thought of the process. This is an inquisition, he said, as he was questioned about his lack of knowledge of his own finances. Once again, he told the tribunal that because of his political commitments, he had left the management of those complicated affairs to others. But the picture he's painted for tribunal lawyers was strongly disputed today by 4 witnesses who returned to give their account. Eileen Foy, Mr Haughey's former secretary, said she didn't remember her role in the same way as her old employer had described it. He said she would have attended to all banking matters and acted on her own initiative. She disagreed. When large sums were at stake, she said she would have received instructions from her boss. Witnesses from Deloitte and Touche told the tribunal that Mr Haughey's view of their role in relation to his tax affairs was absolutely and completely at loggerheads with the reality. Jack Stakelum, who ran Mr Haughey's paying service, agreed. Charles Haughey maintains that all these men worked together to manage his affairs and keep him right with the revenue commissioners, but they dispute this in the strongest terms. They worked separately, they say, and none of them had a full picture of what was going on. Emma O'Kelly, RTE News at Dublin Castle.
The former Assistant City and County Manager George Redmond was served with additional evidence today in relation to alleged corrupt land transactions in Dublin. 76-year-old Redmond is facing 4 charges in relation to receiving gifts or money of up to £10,000 for the sale of land between 1985 and 1988.
It's more than 7 weeks since the former Assistant City and County Manager for Dublin, George Redmond, was charged with 4 offences relating to allegedly corrupt land deals in West Dublin. The 76-year-old is facing 4 charges of receiving gifts or money up to £10,000 following the sale and purchase of lands at Palmerston, Buzzardstown and Coolmine. Today, the Dublin District Court heard that the Criminal Assets Bureau had today served additional evidence on Redmond in relation to the alleged offences. Redmond's defence team then asked for additional information on some of the witnesses who had made statements in the case, specifically whether or not any of them had criminal convictions. Redmond also asked for better copies of the statements, and the state agreed to address both issues. Judge David Anderson refused a request by Redmond solicitor Anthony Harris that 76-year-old Redmond be excused from attending the next court hearing, and he remanded Redmond on continuing bail of his own bond of £900 to appear again here on June the 26th. Paul Reynolds, RTE News, the Dublin District Court.
There's been further violence in the Middle East just hours ahead of tonight's security talks intended to end 8 months of Palestinian-Israeli violence. 2 Israelis and 3 Palestinians were killed in separate attacks today. Meanwhile, the Palestinian Authority has condemned Israeli plans to build more than 700 new homes around Jerusalem and the West Bank.
Israel's announcement to build more homes in Jewish settlements is seen as a slap in the face for Palestinians, who are calling for a complete freeze on all settlement activity. The move also defies the Mitchell Commission report, which recommended a halt to settlement activity on Palestinian territories. Palestinians have condemned the decision.
We were told yesterday that the government of Israel had accepted unequivocally the Mitchell report as a whole, as a package. Seems to me that this acceptance was given in English, and at the same time the Israeli government gave its instruction in Hebrew.